I'm a United States Coast Guard Academy graduate, and I've been active duty for 13 years now. I spent the first couple tours overseas on ships, and then saw the light, decided to go aviation, and went to flight school, started flying helicopters. My last tour was as a Hitron pilot, flying counter-drug missions through Central and South America. A lot of fun, and then had an opportunity to go to grad school and pursue my other passion, which is business.
After graduating from the Coast Guard Academy, I spent 5 years on ships. I loved my time there. I spent 1 year in the Persian Gulf, and then after that, 2 years as the commanding officer of a small patrol boat. Loved my time. Wish I could be on the sea still.
Trevor Clark also went to the Coast Guard Academy, did civil engineering there, then followed that up with an EOIT tour on a ship out in Oregon. Also did my DWO and did some tactical stuff while I was there as well. Followed that up with a tour in Norfolk at the patrol boat product line, managing a bunch of ships, a lot of travel, a lot of finance, absolutely loved it, and great prep for then coming here to both do my MBA, and then I'm also doing a master's in civil engineering as well.
I really love Georgia Tech and the people at Georgia Tech. When I first came to visit, and see a class, I introduced myself during class. The professor asked me to, and I actually mentioned that I'd just been recently accepted by the program, and I was really surprised. Everybody clapped. That didn't happen anywhere else I visited. And that just shows you about the people that are here, and I've been really enjoying getting to know my classmates and spend time with them. One of the best things about the best military units I've been in, they are all very collaborative, and it's kind of the idea that a rising tide floats all boats. And Georgia Tech's really bought into that idea. So you don't have to worry about competing with your classmates. You're all working together to make a better whole. And instead of having to watch your back, you can trust your classmates to have your back. And I just love that.
Professors are...
I'll take it, Lewis.
Okay. Professors are really engaging. It's small classes, so you get to know your professors on a personal level. They're very engaged in making sure that you succeed and you understand the material. One of our professors is the Associate Dean, Professor Mitra, and even though he's talking at a very high level, he even someone like me that's been out of school for 13 years, he's like, Lewis, do you understand this? And taking his extra time to really help me out and understand the basis of analytics and regressions and how to apply that to even not only in class, but how we can use it in the Coast Guard as well.
Yeah, I appreciate how he takes it to the base level where we are, meets us there, and then brings us up to a level above where most MBAs are gonna be. That's great.
Yeah, I guess my two favorite classes have been economics and strategy, both of which you can kind of apply to almost your everyday life. You read about a lot of these companies in the newspaper or whatnot, you just don't know a lot of the background or why per se they're doing a certain strategy, but you take these classes and you know, recent examples are in the textbook that we're using that was written by the professor. So it's just phenomenal to just to learn about that and something you can take back with you.
One of the things I really realized within classes here compared to what we saw at the academy or other learning experiences I've had is every day outside of classes we're applying class concepts, and they come up in conversations just casually, not only among classmates but people that work near me or live in my same apartment complex. It's evident to me how much we are learning because it is coming naturally through conversation. With you mentioned economics being a great class as well. Professor Higgins was awesome at really relating real life topics to what we're learning through class itself. And so it seems like almost every day we're learning about how those economic principles apply. Through marketing, the same thing. We're saying every time I see a commercial now, I'm like, wow, so that's the marketing technique they're using. It's really amazing seeing these concepts just be alive.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to see and have those conversations around the dinner table, and I didn't do that before, so I'm enjoying that. And the professors normally lead off with like an article from that day's, Atlanta Journal-Constitution or the Wall Street Journal, just talking about how those concepts apply to what we're learning in class, and that's fun to see and make those connections.
I love Professor Mulford's daily articles too.
He's
great.
Not only that, I mean, Atlanta is such an economic hub that not only do we get exposure to these things that are in the news, but a lot of the times we're dealing with companies that are right next to Georgia Tech, right? We're dealing with companies that are right down the road. I did a strategy project with a Fortune 500 company that's here in Atlanta. I know several other students have done projects with local companies that are nationwide, if not global. And that kind of exposure to such large corporations is is crucial for not only understanding who we're working with when we're in the military for contracting, but also later on the line if we decide to get out of the military.
Yeah. These companies want to engage with Georgia Tech. You have Delta that's investing several $1 million in building in investing in Georgia Tech itself. Same with Home Depot, Coca-Cola, great companies that say, hey, we want to be part of this whole tech square and this education process within Scheller Business School as well. You have great opportunities even on the West Coast. In December, a bunch of us are taking a trip out to visit companies like Google, Facebook, Airbnb, Autodesk, Tesla as well, and getting that engagement with the decision makers of those companies, something you don't get anywhere else. Really amazing, and I love that.
Yeah, it's great to be in Atlanta, just the hub, East Coast, Southeast, great place to be and to get your MBA so that you're exposed to all that. And if you ever want to come back, this is great, sets you up perfectly.
You mentioned a lot of the tech companies, which is something that I really love, and I love the network effects that the history of Georgia Tech is being a mechanical trade school, but it's developed into this tech hub, not only just of the Southeast, but one of the major players globally for engineering and technology. And the business school has this right next door that they can totally capitalize on, and they really are. I mean, each of you guys have been involved in certain things that are a direct result of the engineering.
A primary reason for me coming here was because of that same that intersection between technology and business itself. Georgia Tech has an incredible program called Tiger, which allows you to basically take an idea for technology and actually commercialize and build a business from that. No other school has anything like that. Absolutely amazing to have the opportunity. The technology I'm privileged to work on is dealing with 3D technologies, and really even on the forefront of what people think of 3D technology. Heck, we can print an entire airplane wing that can be used on an airplane.
Yeah.
It's not just a model for it. And so having that opportunity of building businesses, of learning through experience, of just diving in and getting your hands dirty and say, you know what, I'm not just studying the theory behind it. Let's actually do this and learn about it and apply it right away.
Yeah, and I'm loving that. I don't have that tech background, but I'm learning so quickly, and Georgia Tech's really working on investing that in me and to help me build that, and I'm enjoying that process and the expertise that they have here.
Yeah, so there's a lot that I can really take away from this program. One of the classes I'm taking right now is project management. Another one's Six Sigma. Both of these are directly related to what I'm going to do later. So I'll be going back to a desk job. I'm comfortable with that. I'm actually looking forward to it. But it's going to be a lot of finance. It's going to be a lot of managing contracts, a lot of managing multiple projects at one time. And what's great about that is the Coast Guard is a very collaborative place, but you're also dealing with a lot of different departments, and a lot of the times they are geographically separated as well. So what I really like about Scheller is that the students here are not only from different backgrounds and cultures and industries, but everyone is very collaborative and very social. So you learn pieces about all these different networks that you can really take that back and then directly apply that to where I'll be after this.
I'll be heading to Washington, D.C. to work for CG8, afterwards doing budgeting and forecasting for the Coast Guard. And there are certain classes, even in this first semester we've had, that will be directly applicable to what I'll be doing there, through accounting, through analytics, and through strategy coming up as well, utilizing those concepts and applying it to improve Coast Guard finances, which will be very critical in helping us become even better service.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed the way that the classes have prepared me for my job that I'm going to have, but also that it's been a smooth transition from the Coast Guard to Scheller, and that in a year and a half, it's going to be a smooth transition from Scheller back to the Coast Guard, because I'm not switching from a collaborative environment to a very competitive, cutthroat environment to a collaborative environment. It's collaborative the whole way, and I really value that at Scheller.
It's not only valuable while we're here, but later on, both while we're in the Coast Guard, and then also a follow-on Coast Guard career is not only do we have the services of Georgia Tech Career Services for Life, but we've also got this network of alumni and fellow students who will be successful when they leave Georgia Tech. And the way I've been telling them is, guys, I know you can't help me out now, but 5 years from now or 10 years from now, I'm going to be hitting you up for a job.
Yeah, this round's on me, but I know the job in a couple of years.
It's been amazing seeing the doors they've opened, just talking to people and high up in industry, just because I say I'm part of Georgia Tech. So anyone from C-suites for us, companies like Google or Facebook making calls out there to make arrangements, they said, okay, you're from Georgia Tech, let's talk. You don't get that so much in other places.
I loved moving to Atlanta. Just being in Atlanta, it's a great city. The weather's great. It recently got voted #2 city for millennials in 2015. And I just enjoy the interactions with the people outside of class, but also with our class. We have a lot of fun interactions as a class. Trevor and I were recently on the graduate school ultimate frisbee team, and we won the championship for the grad league. So that was really exciting. And there's a lot of those opportunities. Trevor, you're always down at the gym.
Yeah. Physical fitness is a huge part of who I am. So I was really happy to find out about the gym here. I guess it was the Olympic pool for the Olympics when it was here. And it's a phenomenal facility. I mean, not only do they have some high quality pools, but I mean the gym itself is offers so much to the students, which is a huge change from the Coast Guard Academy. Not to bash that, but yeah, the facilities here are just they're awesome. I'm over there quite a bit, and it's a huge part of my daily routine.
One of the things I've really enjoyed and appreciated about Scheller, it's kind of counterintuitive, is it doesn't have a spouses club. So in going from base to base in the Coast Guard, we usually have a spouses club that spouses get involved with. Well, that doesn't exist here because it's not needed. Spouses are part of the student body. They can participate in anything that we do. They can actually get the student buzz cards and use that to enter into football games. And they're always part of the tailgate events and just even celebrations like the Diwali Indian Light Festival that we had last week. Spouses come down and participate in every activity. So it's never a closed atmosphere at Scheller. Families are always part of the events.
Yeah, and we have socials every Thursday, and those are a blast. I mean, you're hanging out with about a third of our class, half of our class is there frequently, and your class is doing better about showing up. A little ribbon there. But just in hanging out with each other and really enjoying our time together and not hanging out because we're trying to network or something like that, but hanging out because we actually like each other. And that's a lot of fun, and the spouses show up to that a lot too, and doing a lot of cool events with that. I've enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, I'd like to put a plug in for my class. We're planning a lot of really good social events, which I have actually been really impressed with the social committee, the student government committee that we have. They really care about making the program better. And I've really seen that from just the level of involvement and the level of detail they put into creating the social calendar. We've had events from all over the place, and unfortunately I haven't been able to go to most of them, but when they do happen and when I show up, I have a great time, and I love the interaction between the two classes. There's certainly there's no divide between the classes at the socials, which is great
fun
to see. Scheller does a great job of honoring veterans, which certainly goes a long way, especially for us. Two of the faculty here actually are former veterans, or still veterans, and they put on a Veterans Day celebration last week, which really meant a lot. It's certainly not something that's required, but the fact that they thought about that and wanted to honor the veterans that are currently here, means a lot.
Yeah, when I was looking at schools, one of the biggest things I was looking for was, am I going to fit in as a veteran? Is my experience and what I bring to the table as a veteran going to be valued? And I really feel like it is at Georgia Tech, whether it's the Veterans Club that's giving input and saying, this is some things that we could change, and the administration being really receptive of that, or if it's just the way that the groups are structured so that the veterans get the opportunity to lead and to actually kind of mentor other students in some ways and show them the lessons that they've learned. I really appreciate the way that Georgia Tech's been intentional about that, and that they really get veterans. They understand where we're coming from and how we can make the program, contribute to the program.
It's been great also seeing how they've taken our cohorts within the class and really tried to divide the veterans up among it so that we can influence a bigger portion of the class with our background, with our leadership as well. And having each of those cohorts appreciate what we offer and bring to the table is great, seeing that reciprocal action.
Yeah.
Veterans do great here, and there's a lot of support for veterans as well. In fact, our class, we have over 10% of the student body are veterans representing all the services.
Yeah, I don't think my class is as high. There's only 6 of us, but we've built a very strong bond over the year and a half that we've been here together, and I know that I'll definitely carry those relationships forward. And I think that bond is due in large part to the community here at Scheller. It really allowed that to flourish. So I really hope, from the testimonials of all of us, that you really have the urge to come visit Georgia Tech Scheller College of Business. It's a great place, certainly a place that we all have really enjoyed and appreciated. Really hope that you were motivated by what we had to say here, and really hope you come visit.